Girls, once again.
It's a mountainous and anonymous work of unconscious generations. I think Edward Sepper says this, and this sentence is totally correct. Because language is it's like a mountain that built over some time by countless generations and without even realizing it. And at the same time, it's anonymous too. Because many people don't know what they are doing. Like our ancestors, they contributed in the development and evaluation of linguistics without even realizing it, and then they pass it from one generation to the other. So all about this, let's talk about the linguistics. Linguistics is basically the study of language. Study of language is not about study of different words of the same meaning. Study of language is about knowing different terms or different ways to think that thing. There are many branches of linguistics. Some of them we are mentioned here. Every branch has its own beauty that my teammates will explain later on. Number first is phonetics.
My name is Syed, and my topic is phonetics. Basically, phonetics is the study of sounds in human speech. For example, if I take morphology, the word morphology, the phonetics means more sound, okay, and the word phonology, first sound, phonetics, first sound, and syntax, sound. Basically, phonetics is the basic of the language. If there is a kid, they start language with the sound, this is the basic of the language. And the next one.
My name is Syed. I will explain phonology. Phonology is a combination of two words, phono and logy. Phono means sound and logy means study. Phonology is a branch of linguistics in which we study how sound functions within language and interact with each other. For example, if we pronounce machine and mechanism, there is CH is common in both words, like in machine, CH sounds sh, and mechanism it sounds ka. Can. So this study.
Next is morphology. Morphology is about the internal structure of the word. Words made and how they are formed is all about morphology. Like for example, if you have simple letters, simple alphabets, they are simple alphabets. But when we give them a sequence according to our need, it becomes word. And when we give them a sequence according to our need, it becomes sentences. So all this study is called morphology. Next.
Syntax is my topic. Assalamualaikum. My name is Syed. Syntax is all about the structure of sentences and how they are formed. For example, in a sentence is basically formed of three major compounds like subject, verb, and object. A sentence is totally incomplete without these three components. So syntax is all about this.
Over to Mira. Assalamualaikum. My name is Mira. I explain semantics. Semantics is study of meaning in language from word to sentence. For example, just recognize that the cat chased the mouse. So it is a subject, object, or verb. And the example is the dog. Dog, it is a carnivore mammal.
Provides meaning and
My topic is pragmatics. Pragmatics basically deals with the study of how it is involved with the contextual meaning and how context is involved in it. There are basically two types in it. If we go further,
it's okay.
एक है linguistic context जिसमें वर्ड ऑर्डर है, आपको पता है कि सभी ने किया। लेकिन जो नॉन लिंग्विस्टिक है उसमें ऐसे होता है कि आपने जो आपकी सोसाइटी से या आपकी जो इंफॉर्मेशन है वो जो आप इंटर कर रही है, आपने उससे उस चीज़ को जैसे लेना है कि आपने क्या, जैसे कि एक देर समथिंग माई सिस्टर आज बहन ने मुझसे कही पूछी कि मैंने एक मरी हुई मुर्गी को चलते हुए देखा, ये पॉसिबल नहीं है, मरी हुई मुर्गी नहीं चल सकती। तो फिर मैंने सोचा इसके ऊपर, मैंने कहा अच्छा वो मरी हुई थी और तुमने उसको चलते हुए देखा, दिस इज नॉन लिंग्विस्टिक कॉन्टेक्स्ट। तो ये
discourse analysis. So discourse analysis is all about when you study language beyond sentence level. For example, if you are studying sentence, it is totally depends on grammar, because grammar is a guiding principle that provides you rules and regulation to form a sentence. So when you analyze language beyond sentence level, you need something else. So you need discourse analysis. Discourse analysis is simply the textual analysis of anything. For example, if you are analyzing any sort of essay or presentation, you need to see how it is structured. For example, it has particular structure, introduction, thesis statement, body paragraphs and conclusion. And similarly, if you go further, you will see whether it is coherent or not, if there is cohesion or not. So simply, when you analyze the structure of entire text, so you will go through discourse analysis. This is all about their presentation. I hope you all will like them.
Branches of any one of these branches. Do you understand my question? Yes. Yes.
Phonetics.
Okay. Can you please name those?
There are two branches. Phonetics. We have
structure of sentences है, कैसे वर्ड्स भी आ जाएंगे, फ्रेज भी आ जाएंगे।
Phonetics की जो तीन branches हमने पढ़ी थी।
अच्छा girls, one thing very important I want to tell you please.
आपकी कैपेसिटी होती है स्पीक लैंग्वेज या मैथ वर्ड्स। हाँ, जो आप कंप्लीट फिजिकल फॉर्म में वर्ड्स बोलते हैं, हाँ वो आप जो है ना
He says that when a child is born, he is born with a device known as language acquisition device. And the second one, he says that all languages have same rules. For example, if we talk about the language Pashto, it also has the verb, the object, the subject, all parts of it. Same is the case with the Urdu. Talking about this time, that language is acquired rather than learned. It means that when child is born, he or she itself acquires language on the basis of linguistic structure, on the biological intake of universal.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Prabhu. According to Noam Chomsky, he describes competence as an idealized capacity that is located as a psychological, mental property or a function. Competence involves knowing the language. It is very difficult to assess competence without assessing performance. Now,
my name is Cantt and I'm here to present performance. Performance means how to use a language in real life. As we know,
simple language.
फिजिकल स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ लैंग्वेज जो हम मतलब बोलते हैं वो जैसे कम्युनिकेशन जो हमारे माइंड में होता है
Communication we have in our mind. Yes, you
presented its performance.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Krishna Keshwar and I am computer science in a prison. In a prison, it's like having a superpower in our brain. It's like having the abilities that we have from birth. So let's take language as an example. For example, have you ever noticed how baby can pick up on language so quickly? They start sobbing and after some time they speak words and sentences. So inautism will help. Inautism is like having these abilities from
omit something as well because I had to assist that. So simply the non-Chomsky's theory is basically divided in two parts. He talks about universal grammar and he also talks about the universal grammar and transformative generative grammar. In universal grammar, he talks about the acquisition of language, how people learn language, how it is processed in the language, different phenomena and language acquisition devices and all other things. And in transformation generative grammar, he talks about the structure of the language, how it is structured. He goes on this syntactic analysis. He also wrote a complete book on it, syntactic structures. And you will be shocked to know that over 50 years he has been trying to give different theory on transformative generative grammar, and it has 7 stages up to now, up to 2002. So Noam Chomsky has been working on transformative generative grammar. His basic theory was relativism, that was a backlash to Ferdinand de Saussure and behaviorism. So this is all about this theory that they have tried to describe.
क्लास जो यहाँ पे हैं लोग
Classes.
है कोई किसी का क्वेश्चन है कोई
Any question?
Any questions?
यस
What is it called?
Yes. Different problems in our mind. Speech disorders. So what do we call them? We use a word for them. No. Aphasias. We call them aphasias. Okay, we have 2 areas, Ranki's and Broca's areas, where we find, this sort of disorder. But now, psychologists have also discovered a gene that is called FOXP2. He also backed this theory. So that's why I totally subscribe to this theory, because of this recent discovery of FOXP2. This is a gene that is present in our mind. There are a lot of investment in this. वही है. Please start.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Fatima. Our topic is behaviorism. Behaviorism is a branch of psychology that focuses on how people learn. Behaviorism is the branch of psychology that focuses on how people learn from their interactions with the environment. J.B. Watson and B.F. Skinner also explained the theory of behaviorism, but J.B. Watson is also known as the father of behaviorism. He explained behaviorism theory firstly in 1913, and now
basic principle. अस्सलामुअलैकुम, my name is Nursin, और हमारा टॉपिक है behaviorism. Basic principle of behaviorism. इसकी 2 कंडीशन है. Classical conditioner. The term of classical conditioning refers to the process of an atomic conditional response that is paired with a specific stimulus. जैसे कि इवन पॉपुलर में एक एक्सपेरिमेंट किया था that teach a doctor from a response to the ring of a bell. Using classical conditioner, he taught the doctor salivate when he heard a bell. कि जब वो बेल सुनेगा तो वो आएगा खाने के लिए आएगा.
Now, operant condition is the process of learning to associate response with reward or punishment. Operant condition was first described by behaviorist B.F. Skinner. It is also known as instrumental conditioning. अब उसमें आगे B.F. Skinner used 2 terms कि किस तरह कोई रिवॉर्ड और punishment मिलता है. तो उसमें क्या है, reinforcement और punishment. Reinforcement means positive reinforcement और negative reinforcement. अब positive में क्या है कि give something that he want to take. Like अगर एक लड़का है, अब उसको हम क्या कहते हैं कि आप पढ़ाई पे ज़्यादा ध्यान दो, तो हम आपको रिवॉर्ड के तौर पर कुछ देंगे. So want to give them something in reward. So
when you try to give, when you try to stronger behavior, just try to reward them. Simply.
Yeah, it's okay. Please try, and you know it how to say. You are just hesitating.
okay, then negative reinforcement receive something. When we give them reward and he does not respond in a good way, so we receive
very good.
Okay, fine. Make a conscious effort next time. Okay?
So on their part, I would like to describe this to you because it is very important for all the departments. It's not only limited to English department, but the student of education department can also get benefit from this theories. You have to be a teacher now, okay? So this theory is very important for you. This theory talks about the concept of punishment and reward. According to them, they believe that we can stronger strengthen any sort of behavior with the help of reward and punishment. For example, if I want you to study in the class and to be very active, I'll be giving you rewards. Again and again, I will be giving you chocolates, I will be giving you gifts, certificates, that I want to strengthen your behavior of studying. When I will try to discourage that particular behavior, I will give you punishment. I will not give you anything. I will reward entire class, but I will not reward you. This is called a negative reinforcement, negative punishment. So when you try to strengthen the behaviors, you just reward them. This theory talks about that we learn language through behaviors. J.B. Watson calls it tabula rasa. Tabula rasa is a term that describes that the mind is a blank slate. You do not have anything. In that response, Leonard Chomsky came and said, we have led language acquisition divides that help us to learn language. So that was the difference between them. According to them, we learn language through behaviors. So this is all about this theory. And operant conditioning, this is a box where B.F. Skinner completed his entire experiment. There are two levers. This is a lever that gives you shock, and that's the lever that gives you food. Whenever that particular mouse was putting his leg on this lever, he was taking food from that. So he thought that if whenever I touch this, I will get reward from it. So he strengthened his behavior. But when he touched him, he took shock over there. So he left it. So this is how we strengthen some of the behaviors when we try to teach someone a behavior or language. So this is all about this theory. This is the B.F. Skinner box.
I have a question, please. What is the difference between negative reinforcement and punishment?
Punishment is simply the hardest form of negative reinforcement.
No.
Yes.
How would you say that? No.
Yes.
There is a big difference between.
I can give you 3 references from different books.
By the way, there is a big difference between negative reinforcement and a punishment. In punishment, you always decrease, okay? Something you will snatch from the person, but in negative reinforcement, you will always add. Reinforcement is all about adding. आप पॉजिटिव में भी ऐड कर रहे हो, नेगेटिव में भी ऐड कर रहे हो, दोनों चीजों में.
जो negatively punishment, giving them punishment, this is psychological sort of punishment. So this is the sort of hard type of punishment. That's why I was calling it. So when you go through, there are 2 books. You can go through them. A compendious introduction to linguistics by J.M. Swepson, and also introduction to linguistics by Pushpinder Syed. You can go through them, page number 33 and page number 303.
I guess you can give the linguistic reference, but according to us in psychology, there is big difference between these two terms.
So we have to, we have to understand.
This is what linguistic may be.
So we have to. So we have different because of psychology. You are from linguistics, so I
I'm not about it. ठीक है ना? Okay, please.
Any question?
No, from the student side.
आखिरी, last one.
एक्सप्लेन करेंगे ना
Structuralism was produced by a famous philosopher, in his work Course in General Linguistics, which was published by his students in 1916. In his work, in his structuralism, he told us that what is how language made with different things. Like you can see here, It's signified and signified language for all symbols and signs. We use all of these things in our language.
Next one.
Assalamualaikum. I am going to give you the introduction about the author so that you can have the idea of this basically. So
Please stand this and
Soros was a Swiss linguist and a philosopher, and he was born on 27th November 1857, and he was the founder of linguistics of 20th century with other two founders called Charles Terence Peirce and Harris Roy, who has also mentioned his contribution in the whole human science book, and it is marked as a great in linguistics.
Okay.
Okay. So next.
Okay. Again.
Today I am here to present the signified which well the semiotics. Semiotics is the
Be comfortable.
Okay.
According to take a chill pill.
Take deep breath.
Deep breath.
Deep breath. And
semiotics is the semiotics. In semiotics we study the sign and the symbol, and its relationship
Okay, next.
Assalamualaikum. Good morning, everyone. So first, structuralism is a theory in a field of linguistics and anthropology. So first we will discuss Lang and Parole. Ferdinand Saussure concept about Lang and Parole. Lang and Parole is the most important concept. Lang refers to the underlying system structure in a language, and parole is simple use as a speech to an individual.
Next.
And I want to give the concept of form and substance. Like form is the individually word, it could be word, it could be alphabet, and to those things we will make a word, a form of word and sentences. So this is a form and this is a substance. Book is a substance and the all words is a form. Like for example, a brick. जैसे कि हम दीवार बनाते हैं, a brick is just for a form and the substance is a full word.
So form is a sort of ingredient and substance sort of the final result we get.
Product.
So one thing more, structuralism is all about the importance of the structure. According to Ferdinand de Saussure, he believes that we cannot have a sort of importance of a single individual entity without putting it in a particular structures. So he believes that there is a meaning of everything when we put them in a particular structure. And he also talks about language, that language is arbitrary. The meaning we assign to the particular thing, they have no any sort of logic behind them. They are totally arbitrary because we don't have language. We call them chair, there is no logic behind it. We call any sort of board, why we call it board. And this rules changes over the language. Every society has their own ability. So this ability of this shared rules of language called lang, and when we talk them in physical world, we call them parole. Okay? So all these other theories are the part of structuralism. Structuralism is not a single theory, it's a combination of 2 or 3 different concepts. So any questions, please?
And what about signifier?
Signifier.
Signifier are like a magnified of the word. Okay,
Explain.
signifier is the physical form of any object,
Signified is?
which is whether be image, spoken, and signified is the mental image. Mental image.
Okay,
For
good.
example, if someone call flower and it is the signified, and the signified is the mental image which form in the
Mind.
in the mind.
Good.
Right.
Peter